Now, I think it's very fair to say that 2023 was absolutely the worst year for the Walt Disney Company for several reasons. They had a series of box office failures and flops that actually worked hand in hand with their 100th year anniversary. The fact that it all happened on their 100th anniversary was very much the deal breaker for Bob Iger and the rest of the board of directors, let alone they also were dealing with a lot of call-outs. You know, we had Elon Musk calling out Bob Iger, we had South Park Studios mocking the company, and let's not forget about the Daily Wire trolling them on, I believe it was October 16th, the actual 100th year anniversary for the Walt Disney Company. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So, speaking about Elon Musk, there's been a lot of drama happening between himself and Bob Iger and all the divisions over at Disney, and how their push for DEI is essentially tarnishing nearly every brand out there. Star Wars and Marvel has been suffering due to Bob Iger's push for that, and among the Disney remakes as well. But what's interesting about this has a lot to do with Bob Iger's overall stance against Elon Musk, and how this battle between the two is worsening over time. Now, we already know that Elon Musk is funding numerous lawsuits on top of the Gina Carano case to really bring Disney into the hot seat here and to really bring them down. And this is going to be something that will take very long, you know, and very progressive, of course. It's going to be a very progressive situation that's going to take months upon months. However, what's interesting about all this moving onwards has a lot to do with Bob Iger's overall defense for the Walt Disney Company and his overall outlook on Elon Musk. Now, with Bob Iger still struggling to this day with all the legal challenges that the Walt Disney Company faces, especially ones that are being created by Elon Musk, one significant development involves Bob Iger's reaction and stance against Musk after his push to sue Disney in several different ways, especially with the help of Gina Carano and ex-Lucasfilm employees as well. Now, Iger went on to deliver the following. As CEO, it is my responsibility to remain transparent with all of our shareholders and customers around the globe. One important part of the Walt Disney Company I would like to address is something that has been pressed on us from both the general public and the trades regarding our legal challenges that are already misleading our core customer base. I don't have much to say about Mr. Musk, but what I do have to say is that a legal push coming from an individual like himself and other individuals that share a high status much like his are doing nothing but enhancing a distraction for us here at the Walt Disney Company to focus on what's truly important here. A legal push coming from individuals like Mr. Musk and others are sending the wrong message that our company is about forcing an agenda to the general public and to our loyal and new customers regarding our products connected to all things Marvel, Star Wars, and Disney overall, with our upcoming remakes planned as well. Our support for DEI is not to be confused with any sort of an agenda, nor is it any engagement in a culture war at all. We take pride in hiring those who respect diversity, equity, and inclusion at its finest. Our legal challenges, I confidently believe, will be won in our favor to prove to the world that our viewpoints of what the Walt Disney Company stands for is for the best for our core customer base. We make sure to hire everyone equally, and should we meet a time with creative differences and other problematic situations from our creators for film and television, we make sure to part ways in a professional manner, unlike how many individuals are claiming how the Disney Company handles a situation like that. I also feel it's extremely irresponsible for those to not do the proper research to learn that DEI is a very helpful and useful tool for us to reach a wider global audience, and to those challenging us legally with this approach are in the complete wrong, and we look forward to settling everything out regarding that in the coming months. Now guys, let me just stop here quick before I move on. Now, obviously, this is Bob Iger alluding to the entire situation where Elon Musk is basically and has been calling out Disney's improper ways of using DEI. And he exposed this through different forms of media. You guys may have seen the images that he posted on X, if you go on the media there, about how Disney is using this improperly and in a way that's very unprofessional, that really makes absolutely no sense. And at the same exact time, we know that Bob Iger has a problem with getting called out and being, of course, shouted out by Elon Musk, and how that's becoming more and more public as X grows. So what's interesting about this too is the fact that we have someone like Bob Iger that's saying DEI is not an agenda and that it does not engage in a culture war, alright? Which is absolutely false, because DEI in its own nature is literally an agenda, alright? You can't just stand there and say that it's not. Now sure, diversity can be used naturally in a lot of film and television and stuff around those lines. You know, equity and inclusion, it's just nonsense after a while. I mean, I think that we just need to let these projects, you know, form themselves naturally to the point where if you need to use those examples, so be it, such as diversity, when it comes through to the script naturally, fine. But when you're forcing it, it just does not work. Now, again, he goes on to conclude further, we ask everyone to make others understand that diversity, equity, and inclusion is not an agenda on our part at all, but it is rather a great outlet for us to connect to more people around the world to create a larger customer base. So basically he is admitting that it's nothing more than a business move from what it sounds like. Apart from what Bob Iger delivered here, one major move that Iger is about to make is by doing a one-on-one interview on Good Morning America about the situation with Elon Musk to share his side of the story more on the whole Gina Carano legal situation, as Iger and the board have been carefully planning what to say on live television about their view of the truth on the scenario. Iger is also preparing to address new details about why he pulled advertising from the X platform and his issues with Elon Musk on a personal level to put Musk in the hot seat as well, in a desperate move to gain the upper hand. Iger is also getting ready to go on the Jimmy Kimmel Live show next month to address the situation loosely. Now again, he's using ABC-run programs. He's also using his own status to call out Elon Musk, and it's only going to backfire on the guy. I mean, well, we all know that as much as, you know, some people may hate or love Elon Musk, whether you love or hate the guy, you gotta really respect the fact that he is using his high status to call out Disney for what they really are and for what they're really all about at the end of the day. So again, we have Bob Iger doing the same repeated nonsense, that DEI is not an agenda, that they don't use it improperly, that they don't use it in an illegal way, or anything like that. And this is a response to all of their legal challenges that they're going through, not just from Elon Musk and, you know, him calling out and really exposing the ugly truth about Disney, but it's also a response to basically how they are meeting multiple legal stances from different individuals and different organizations month by month, and it's not easing up at all. So overall, I would love to hear what you all have to say about this ongoing scenario below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.